Everybody, welcome back to another YouTube edition of Me and Me, as Cleveland is once again not here, and my heel mode for him lately starts to grow. But no, he'll be here soon as he's at work. He's got that little bit of a different shift, and he's getting the dog days of that before his big move later in life that we talk about on the podcast. But let's keep it here to the wrestling. We got the 2022 Royal Rumble. As I started through that, before I do any more, Tones and Alex, thanks again for joining. As always, very reliable this time of year. How we all doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm doing good as well. It's a pleasure to be back and happy to talk Rumble, one of the best times of the year for any wrestling spectacles out there.
Oh, yes, and that is that. We were just talking about that before we got on live here, and I botched the first minute and a half as I regrouped myself now. Tones, we were saying how we love Mania. We love a lot of pay-per-views, but Rumble, they could screw up the winner, but to us, it's just the best because you get comebacks. You get it's like the start of the playoffs from wrestling. You get this until the Manias. Now you get to see how they set it all up. Would you agree? Maybe not your top one, but I mean, I know it's probably for sure up there, but for me and Alex, it seems to be like the pay-per-view that we rely on most to have be front and center each year and make sure we don't miss it, although I have to.
Yeah, and really nowadays, the Rumble is pretty much one of the few consistent pay-per-views that are left with the WWE, right? So I think that fans and people who really love wrestling bank on the Royal Rumble to be that good pay-per-view that people expect. I mean, nowadays, you tune into Extreme Rules, you're not really sure if you're going to get Extreme Rules matches. They're talking about changing the name of the Elimination Chamber. You get about one Hell in a Cell match for Hell in a Cell nowadays and whatnot. So you're really talking about a factor in matches that make sense. And the Royal Rumble has two Royal Rumble matches, both usually last up over an hour long. So they really do a great job of following through with what they're promising to display that night. And the men's Rumble is always fantastic. And although the women's drags out a little bit, it still puts on some entertainment here and there as well, as long as the has-beens aren't just horde in the ring. But I love the Rumble, and it's one of those pay-per-views that people can expect excitement, surprises, and it really is a game type feel when you're rooting for the wrestler you want. You're not quite sure when they're going to come out in the Rumble, then they do come out. And if they win, you're pretty dang excited, and if they lose, you're honestly a little disappointed. So the element of the Rumble I appreciate as well is the game type feel, I should say, because in a match one-on-one, kind of a little more predictable. You could kind of see what's coming a little easier. But in the Rumble, you get guys like Johnny Knoxville, Hornswoggle, Bobby Lashley, and, just a whole plethora of people. So I appreciate the Rumble and the surprises it brings, the unexpectedness that wrestling fans can enjoy, and honestly, everything in between. It's probably one of the better, if not the best pay-per-view, and one of the only consistent ones left year in and year out.
Yes, and before we get right into it and we lead off, I want to throw something at you guys, a couple of rumors that just reported in the last few hours. This is the 35th Royal Rumble. It is at the Dome at America Center in St. Louis. It's going to be rocking. We were actually thinking about making the trip up there, but again, once I got a wedding, unfortunately, but fortunately, it'll still be a great time. And I expect my bros here, hopefully they'll be getting their updates and paying attention and watching as well. But like I said, I wanted to get right into it, fellas, and actually from the women's side more than the men's, because we're going to get our predictions. We're going to get our Royal Rumble moment. We're going to get into a couple of topics. Hard stop at the end of the hour. Two names brought up today, Ronda Rousey, Asuka, and a lot of outlets are saying that it's getting close to being locks for a lot of reasons. One, Ronda Rousey has her team reassembled who helps her with not only makeup and hair, but training. They flew out in person to California from the WWE to speak with her in the last week. And then her people are going to be in the areas that just in St. Louis this weekend. So there's a lot of connecting the dots there on thinking about her return, number one. And number two, Asuka, she's been out a while with an injury. Another former champion who we quite frankly, got people like her and Bailey who's battled some injuries, and now Sasha we would like to see get back. So, that's two big names right there. Alex, if you had to root, if both of them ended up in the Rumble, which one would you rather have win if you had to have one of those two win only?
I probably would say Asuka, just because she gave up the title to Becky.
Yep.
So that's just my personal opinion. Nothing against Ronda Rousey, but I know that she did her due diligence in bad mouthing the WWE a number of months ago. So not that really will kind of move the page for WWE at all. But I mean, in the back of my mind, it kind of still is there. But if they really want to make her be the main event and go, Becky versus Ronda Rousey, I would not be surprised one bit.
Yeah, and Asuka isn't a bad choice as she's had it before. And what Alex was referring to before I get Tone's thought is Asuka did get the belt from Becky when she went to go have her baby. And then Asuka had an unfortunate injury, and she was a champion for a while, and that ended up coming to an end, and she's been off the screen now. Getting back to it, Tones, what is your thought on either of those women, or if either of them had to come out champion?
I would like if both of them were to participate at the Rumble, because, you don't really get the depth of good females at the Rumble usually. So hopefully this is a year that could change, and that starts with having Asuka return and Ronda Rousey return as well. It gives you two prominent female wrestlers that could participate, where you don't have to have the has-been veterans that haven't wrestled in 30 years, 20 years, nothing against her, but the Litas of the world, where they come back for one-night stands, and it's like, oh, it's really cool, but, realistically, they have no chance at winning the Rumble. So I think Asuka winning would be really cool, but I'm a little biased because we were at a WrestleMania where we've seen the main event with Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Ronda Rousey. And I thought Ronda Rousey was tremendous. So I'd like to see either one of them get title runs. But, I feel like Ronda Rousey is one of those people who stop and go. So I can easily see it being Rousey returns at the Rumble, gets a title match at WrestleMania, and then disappears shortly after. So I'm going with Ronda Rousey, only because I think her stint in the WWE could be a lot less time, and then Asuka, she'll stay for a long time because she's one of those WWE for lifers. So as much as I appreciate her, we'll get our fair share of her, where I think Rousey is a 1-2-3 month gal, and we'll see after that.
Yeah, and both exciting. If I had to pick one to win, and again, these aren't finalized, but if both these rumors show up, which it kind of seems likely, they both made good points just to split the difference. I've always been a Ronda Rousey fan, even before with her UFC run. I always thought that was kind of cool until she took her first loss. So I guess I would say her just because I have some of her gear, but I would like either to win, and neither would be one of those, oh, what the hell did you do moments, as we know we have in WWE more often than not, especially in the later years. I don't condone gambling at all for those out there, because, I don't want to be that guy, even though it's all legal on many outlets right now. Hey, I just want to throw that out there before
you might win.
Before I get into it, I'm about to say I just like to throw out my disclaimer, so at least I get ahead of the game.
Lame wad.
If you ever feel like you're sunk, get the help you need. But right here, right now, we're going to be doing a little draft, and to show my appreciation for both of you, which Cleveland is missing out on right now. So if he misses out on one of the Rumble drafts, that's not our problem. That's his. But it's just going to be a small little pot. We're going to go through a draft, and for you guys being on, the winner of each Rumble is $5. If one of your draft picks win, Cleve and Me sends you guys $5.
So you are condoning gambling then.
Well, that's why I threw out my disclaimer, you see. No, I could be talking Monopoly money. Anyways, getting back to the point, I'm going to start with the women's, just because I know Cleve will be here soon, and I want him to definitely get in on the men's. I'm going to list off all of the women in the Rumble, and I can repeat it multiple times if you guys need, because it is a lot. But I'm going to go through the names, and you could also count in, if you want to be bold, Ronda and Asuka, but again, they're not official. All right, here are the names who are for sure entering the Royals Rumble match. And if you guys have a surprise and you don't like what you see going later in the draft, If you don't want to take somebody you think has no shot, feel free to add in a prediction or somebody you may please. That's also all on the table. Snake style. Here are the women in the Rumble. We have Carmella, Dana Brooke, Nikki ASH, Queen Zelina, Rhea Ripley, Tamina, Aliyah, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Brie Bella, Lita, Nikki Bella, Kelly, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, Summer Rae, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan. Now, that was a lot that came right at you. So when you're up, if you want me to repeat, I gladly will. The women's Rumble is just going to be between us three for now. If Cleveland comes later, that's great. I'm just going to start. Tones, we're going to start you off on this one. We'll do Alex start on the men's side. Who would you like to be your first choice?
Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair. No problem at all. I will be the third pick in both drafts. Mr. Alex Ruiz, you are going to be pick number 2.
Let me go Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. And what's interesting about those two names right there is they've had their fair share of wars. They're on different shows now, but I could easily see, Brock was the champion and into the Rumble, did some damage. I could see Charlotte doing that. And then I could also see Bianca getting her run, which got cut short badly at SummerSlam. For me, pick number 3, I'm going to go with Lita just because I'm not saying I think she's going to win, but she's back. They don't know how long, but to see her maybe make a little run through Mania would be kind of cool, as it's been a while outside of the Women's Revolution pay-per-view she did. Now that I get back-to-back picks, I'm going to go with a more realistic pick here, and I'm going to go with somebody that deserves more, and if they don't give her a run soon, when will it be? Shayna Baszler. I think she's been done a little bit bogus over her time. They try hard at sometimes, and then they get away from it. That being said, Alex, and like I said, I could always repeat, don't worry about that, but you are up, my man.
Let me see.
And as we go through it, I'll just say Carmella, Dana Brooke, Nikki ASH, Queen Zelina, Rhea Ripley, Tamina, Aliyah, Naomi, Natalya, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, Kelly, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, Summer Rae, Liv Morgan.
Let me go Rhea Ripley.
Not a bad pick. Is she, right now in a storyline with Nikki ASH, I think she needs to break out of that and do something on her own, as it would be better off for a lot of people. And I know Tones would have a lot to say on Miss ASH. Tones, I don't perceive you to pick Nikki in your next 2 picks, would you?
I don't think anyone will. I mean, she's about to be released, and you could even. I listen to Beckles and Retcher every day, 2 fine gentlemen who understand the sports world. They want her off the television. I want her off the television. Could people do the right thing and get her off the television before ratings continue to dip? My next pick, I'm coming in with a surprise, one off your list. Recently out of the WWE because they didn't want to live in the United States. So it makes perfect sense for me for them to return during Rumble, maybe win, go to Mania, then move back wherever they want to move. Kairi Sane, I think she's a standout. She's been rumored to return. And I think if she returns, she has a reason to. And I think one of those reasons might be competing for a win at the Rumble. Give me Kairi Sane.
I just said, Anna, you were the first pick, right?
Yes. So I get another one now?
Correct, you do. And I can repeat the names if you need.
No,
it.
I don't need them repeated. I got my short list already. Half the names.
You got your
Michelle
little
McCool and Kelly, people like that are irrelevant anyways, so you won't. They're nice people, but they'll never win. I'm gonna go with. Ooh, this is tough. I'm gonna go with
Nikki.
Let me see here. Let me see if I think that this lady's gonna be in the Rumble really quick. Mickey, she's honestly up there. I'm going with Raquel Gonzalez.
Oh, from NXT.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see her on the list.
Nope, she's not on the list right now, but she could easily be.
And there's always a NXT couple of people that get called up. So give me her.
Okay, and now Alex, you are up.
Let me go with somebody who is also not on the list, and also
Yeah.
I guess there's a caveat in there if she's cleared. But let's go with Bailey.
Oh, I like that, dude. I really hope that happens because I miss her honestly. So I hope I wouldn't mind that at all. That's a good call there. Now that I got back-to-back picks, I'm definitely taking Liv Morgan because I think I don't know if her run's going to come in late 2022 or early 2022, but it's coming. So maybe she could get the opportunity there. For my other pick,
I just want to add, I like the Gonzalez pick as well because she dropped her title January 4th. So
doing the math, I like where your head's at there. No, I watched her the other night. She's good. Obviously, I'm gonna go Queen Selena. I'm just a big fan of her. I know she's the queen, so she probably won't win the Rumble too. But why not? I'm a fan of hers. So, Alex, that will be back to you.
Let's see.
We're down to we still have Ronda and Asuka available. Carmella, Dana Brooke, Nikki ASH, Tamina, Aaliyah, Naomi, Natalia, Shotzi, the Bellas, Kelly, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, Summer Rae.
Let's go. And this is probably a long shot here, but I know that she was out for a while with injury, had a baby, and maybe can make a surprise run. But let's go Nikki Bella.
Let's do it. Hey, if they're still around and they just had all their kids and stuff, and I think they're more settled in, I could see them making a little bit more of a run than they have the past few years. So always possible. That leads us to Mr. Tones, where you get back-to-back jacks.
Give me Natalia. I know she's been losing a lot lately, but I think that they could be setting her up for one of those things.
I could see it.
You lose, and you lose so much that you start to win eventually. So give me Natalia. And then, I mean,
oh dear Lord, where are you going?
How dark? How off the board can we go? Can we go anywhere here?
Yeah, you could go anywhere you want. Just don't say something really, please, weird.
I just have a lady in mind. I mean,
all right, go. Has she been a wrestler before?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh God, just give it to us.
I think I'm gonna go with Gail Kim, the Impact Hall of Famer, Gail Kim.
Oh,
bad falling out with the WWE, and she's not too old. I think Gail could still bust some moves in that ring. So give me Gail Kim. Is Cleve at the doctor's office or stuffed in a closet in the elementary school down the damn street?
All right, Cleve, we're gonna bring you into this hot and heavy here because we're doing the women's rumble, then the men's rumble, then the couple of matches, and then our favorite moment, and we're getting out of here. We've done a lot of draft picks. There's not a whole lot of people left. I'm going to give you the names that are left, and you're going to make the next three picks. And I'm going to list off the ones that are for sure in, and then the ones that are rumors. You could pick from either list. Okay. Here you go. The woman available out there for 2 wins still: Carmella, Dana Brooke, Nikki ASH, Tamina, Aaliyah, Naomi, Shotzi, Brie Bella, Kelly, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, Summer Rae, and then the rumors that have not gotten taken yet is Ronda Rousey and Asuka. Those are the 2 rumors, so you could pick either of them as well. I can name them again if needed, but give me a couple at least.
You just named a lot of names, but off the rip, Naomi is a possibility.
Okay.
Yeah. Asuka, and I'll go Ronda. I heard rumors Ronda might be coming back actually, so those are my 3. It seems like you named like Tamina and all them.
They're still in the Rumble.
Yeah,
they're there for you, Cleve. Take them.
Nikki Ash is there for you, Tones.
We already talked about her. I mean, no one's taking that. Just terrible.
All right, and we're going to finish out the names here, and then we're going to move right into the men's. And since Alex, we would have been
You know
left
what
on.
Nikki ASH was? She was like the Steelers playoff appearance. She barely limped along with the WWE. You know, people believed in her, and then all of a sudden she got annihilated off the face of the earth. Boom! That's what's going to happen after the Rumble when she's the quickest elimination ever.
That would be something. Here, Alex, here is the woman that would be left, and we'll just stick to the people unless you have someone off the grid. The ones left is Carmella, Dana Brooke, Nikki ASH, Tamina, Aaliyah, Shotzi, Brie Bella, Kelly, Michelle McCool, Mickie James, Summer Rae.
Let's go off the list because she's kind of been talked about as of late. She's kind of all over Twitter. Let's go Paige.
I've been hearing that one. I really like that. I've been hearing that rumor. I should have brought that one up earlier. That's a really good call. Thank you, Alex. No. There's Tones. Alex goes once. Okay, now it's up to me. I go. All right, I'm going to take. You know what? They did her so bogus that maybe they, decide, hey, sorry we sent you home with a trash bag, but we want you to win the Rumble. I'm going to go Mickie James. She was been around a long time. They drew her the wrong way throughout her later in her career. So she was a champion a lot earlier. I'm going to pick her. And then for my second pick, you know what? I got to take the other Bella if she's not gone. I'm going to go Brie Bella for my second pick. And now Cleveland, unless you have somebody outside the box, there are some names left like Michelle McCool, Kelly, Summer Rae, Shotzi, Nikki ASH, Dana Brooke, Carmella, Tamina, Aliyah.
I'll go Carmella. I'll take Carmella.
All right. Tones, on to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go outside the box again here. I'm going to hope for the best, and I'm going to go, why not return? And Ruby Soho. Let's hope that she returns.
Whoa. A crossover.
Yep.
The forbidden door.
The forbidden door gets open, not only with Jericho and not only with James, but Ruby Soho. And I don't know if you count Mickie James because, Impact's technically working with WWE now or whatnot.
But hey, I want the forbidden door to be broken. I think it'd be cool for all to see. Mr. Alex, we're gonna go one more round each, and that's it. What do you want to go for your last pick?
Last one is gonna be another write-in.
Okay.
We're gonna go Dakota Kai.
Nice.
I like that.
Go off the grid after the names we have left. Although the only name that I might feel actually no.
I'm gonna hear those names when I'm up next again.
That's fine. Cleve, up to you. And I'll say them right now for all because I kind of needed them too. Michelle McCool, Kelly, Summer Rae, Nikki ASH, Dana Brooke, Tamina, Aaliyah.
No, holy shit.
Oh man, that's such a.
We got to get going here, so sooner than later.
I'll go Nikki Ash just to.
Oh no, he did it. He took Tones' girl. That's not right. That's so not. Tones, you.
Oh, well, I'm glad I don't have to, get dragged into any schmuckery there. Give me the up and comer. Give me Aaliyah.
I like it. And for the final pick and Mr. Irrelevant of the draft, I am going to make it the big bad Tamina.
Wait, actually, who's that big lady who wrestles on Raw now?
Oh, well, no, she's Dewdrop, but she's in a match.
Yeah, so.
Okay, fine. I'll give it to her. That's fair.
Give me an extra. Give me her as an add-on because if she wrestles, she'll clean house.
Okay. I like that. All right, then we're done for the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, we're going to get into the men's. Really quickly, that I wanted to say for people that are watching this and they're going to be watching AEW at the top of the hour, you have two great matches on tonight. One match would be the TNT Championship ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. You won't want to miss that. We have an unsanctioned match between Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, baby. Let's go, Orange. Takes on Adam Cole, baby. So we're going to see two great matches tonight. That's at the top of the hour after the conclusion of the show. But anyway, I want to get back to it because the men's rumble is going to take a little bit of time, and then we'll close out with the few matches that are on the card, and our favorite moment is we'll be on track. Men's Royal Rumble. Alex, you're going to pick 1. Cleve 2. Tones 3. Then me 4, and then we're going to go Snake from there on out. I could say names, but I'm pretty sure off the bat people are going to have who they want in their minds. You can go off the grid. I can name the grid. Alex, we'll start with you.
Let's go Seth Rollins.
Oh, burning it down. I like that pick. You know, he's been not only going to be in a great match, but he could be doing exactly what Tones was talking about on the same side on the women's. Seth Rollins has done crazy things before. Cleve, pick number 2 for you.
I know I made this crazy prediction a while back, but if Roman loses the title, I have Roman winning the Rumble.
Hey, and that's another one. So we're starting to see more of this now. I almost regret not saying Becky Lynch for the women's as a possibility, honestly, at this point. Tones, we're going to go to you.
Give me Johnny Knoxville in this one.
No way. Is your first pick?
Here's a guy who's bringing other people with him, and that's what he said. He quoted that he'll literally be bringing people with him, and he'll be there to beat people's asses, not get his ass beat. So who Johnny Knoxville is talking about, we'll see, but Johnny Knoxville is going to have a posse with him, and it sounds like he'll have numbers on his side, as he says he'll have people coming with him to the Royal Rumble. Knoxville has multiple guys. Everyone else is only one guy. Give me the guy with multiple guys. I like Knoxville.
And I'm sure his crew will be out as that movie comes out February 4th, which a lot of us, I'm sure, will be seeing as it relates back to our younger days. I now have back-to-back picks, and oh boy. You know, I heard the women's surprises today. I wasn't listening and, focusing as much on the men's, but if I have to go with a couple of guys who I think not only deserve the opportunity to win the Rumble, but I also think have a long career in this business. Number 1 being Riddle. I know he's doing a lot right now with Randy Orton, but that's not going to be lasting forever. They're going to have a rivalry, and watch out for them being interesting in the Rumble, just like Randy and Orton were a year ago. And the other guy I'm going to say, this is a long shot, but I know he's going to get a singles run sooner than later in the WWE and take a little break from the tag team because he's so good. Montez Ford. I think he's a phenomenal talent who could fly, and I think similar to Ricochet in terms of how high he could get, that's exciting to people these days. That's my next 2 picks. Before we go on, I am going to say them once, and then you could have your off the grid guys, but I do want to mention the rest of the field really quickly before we get to Tones, then Cleveland, then back to Alex. Randy Orton is in this match. Kevin Owens is in this match. Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Austin Theory, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Damian Priest, Sheamus, Sami Zayn, Omos, Angelo Dawkins, Chad Gable, Otis, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode. Those are the participants in the Rumble matches. And out again, you can go with an outsider. Tones, your call.
I'm going with this is tough. Give me Big E.
Hey, after his not so long title run, I would not mind it back,
And my main reason why is, things got messed up with COVID and whatnot and storylines and whatnot. So if, WWE wants to revert back to their normal storylines that they had planned, I really see a guy like Big E or Brock winning this thing after, some interesting things.
Okay, I like it. Cleve, on to you.
Hold on, my bad.
No, you're good.
Trying to think. Before I pick, honestly, I just want to say this is probably the most toughest Rumble to pick who would win actually, because it really doesn't seem like a clear favorite to win it. So my second guy would be Finn Balor.
Ooh, there you go.
I would love to see Finn Balor get it.
As the Demon was once lost due to an injury, the first Universal Champion, wouldn't be a bad time to get him back in that front door. Alex, over to you.
Let's go Kevin Owens.
I would love to see Owens fight happen. And hey, really quick, since we did mention it, Alex, you think that before your next pick, you think that Forbidden Door opens with this Rumble? Do you see an AEW crossing to WWE if you had to put $100 on it?
I definitely do, and I think Tones hit the nail right on the head. I think it's got to be break the walls down, Chris Jericho.
Break the walls down for Jericho. Love that idea. Tones mentioned it earlier. You just double backed. I'm going to triple back you guys. Alex, your next pick.
Not my personal favorite, but I mean, he's been getting a significant push. Young up-and-comer, Austin Theory.
Dang, you stole my next one. That's a good one. When you hang out with Vince McMahon, anything can happen, right?
You're not kidding.
You could also get fired. Go ahead.
Tones, can you add one more to my women's list? I'm surprised. No, I'm surprised nobody named her.
Do you? I could take. You want to replace the name?
Yeah, you could replace somebody.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's take off Paige and let's throw on there Alexa Bliss.
Ooh, you do have four letters of her name in yours. That was a smart move on your end. And she's been on TV lately doing her psychiatry. Man, we all missed a big one there, and I am allowing that for the really good intuitive pick. Cleve, Austin Theory was just taken off the board. Who are you going to take off the board?
Let me get Big E.
He was taken by Tones.
We go Happy Corbin.
Happy Corbin.
Huh. Okay.
I know you don't like his partner, but you will take him. Tones, back to you.
This is a way shot in the dark, but he'll be there this weekend. His wife's competing in the women's match. Give me the Undertaker.
Oh, wow.
Give me the dead man to come back. He will be there this weekend. Bleacher Report reported that as well, and they said he has a possible chance of competing in the match this weekend. He'll be doing a couple other things in St. Louis, nothing like WWE saying, hey, we want one little more entertaining run out of you, big fella. He's had a couple of years off now. He's been like Brett Favre in and out of the damn building. So, I think he's had time to recover. I wouldn't be shocked if he came in.
I like that. And he's been hanging around Dallas a lot for WrestleMania, gearing up there. You know what? You know who I kind of think deserves to get back into that main picture probably again soon, as he's been doing a good job of helping out? AJ Styles. I'm going to take him as he's a veteran. He's not going to be around forever. So maybe this is his time now more than ever. And you know what? I'm just going to say I'm going to do it. I think they're trying to make this the greatest Rumble ever. Finally, The Rock has come home. I'm going to choose The Rock to take it home with my second pick. And Tones, that leaves it back to you.
Yeah, give me Brock Lesnar. He could possibly lose a belt and then, enter the Rumble and perhaps win. I mean, very much so like Big E. I think the original plans were to have a guy like Brock or Big E win the Royal Rumble. So, I chose Big E. I might as well stay consistent and choose Brock Lesnar. Give me Brock. And we've seen it a couple of times, right? Where, whether it's the Rumble or Elimination Chamber, someone loses earlier in the night and they reappear later in the other match. So, that could happen.
No, it's definitely possible. And I know as we've been thinking about this and our four great minds have been twisted, we've been doing that a little more consistently here on the men's side. And then we pop back in the women's a little bit. Cleveland, it is on to you.
I'm going to go a shocker here, too. He's been rumored to not retire in his WrestleMania season, so I got to bring out John Cena.
Dun, 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 dun. You made my heart warm. even though I wanted him probably, obviously. But
That's not the only thing he made warm on you. Big
okay, Alex, we're just going. Alex, you're going over to you. As I do have soup in the microwave. Over to you, Alex.
Let's go somebody who's not on that list, but I think is a probable call up. Let's go Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh,
Yes,
I like
sir.
that because he did just lose that title.
And
He's one of those guys that's not released. Go ahead, Tones.
I just got his ring used War Games garbage can signed by Ciampa in. It's kind of crazy feeling the material of the garbage can because it's like actually really hard. It's like really hard, the material for the garbage can, like surprisingly hard. I thought it'd be like really tinfoilish, but it's actually like really hard. What I think they actually do, it seems like it's built a certain way. It's probably actually like pretty heavy material, and then you have to hit it in certain spots to break it easily or whatnot. But I got that, and I got a garbage lid from a women's match earlier this week. Both are very hard material. I'm very shocked.
And that just goes to show you, yes, things are a little bit, subdued and made of less extent, and the storylines are there. But these guys take on a lot of injuries, and they, unfortunately, sometimes miss a lot of time or end up not being able to do it again. Alex, go over to your second pick now.
This is a kind of a sleeper pick, but I mean, he's kind of been on TV as of late. He's on the new cover of WWE 22, Mr. 619.
Yep. Booyaka, booyaka. And you know what? He has been on a little more, and him and Dominic have been getting into it a little more. So I kind of like to see where that goes at, as I could see them taking on one-on-one at WrestleMania. Cleveland, over to you.
He just broke away from AJ Styles. I'm going almost.
He's a big dude. And you know what I could see? Now, here's something I'm trying to put together real quick for y'all. Almost comes out, eliminates a few guys. The next guy's the dead man. You at mid-core of the ring, you get the dead man and Omos looking at each other one-on-one. That's how you get a little hype right there. However long they last after that, I don't know, but it'd be kind of cool. Tones, that takes us back to you.
Let me see here. Could you go over the men's list one more time?
Absolutely, I can, as we still got some great names like Randy Orton, Madcap Moss, Dominic Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, Damian Priest, Sheamus, Sami Zayn, Angelo Dawkins, Chad Gable, Otis, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode.
Does anyone have McIntyre yet?
No, but he's injured. But he could go ahead.
No, give me bro. Injured, sminjured. Give me McIntyre.
A legit injury he does have, though.
I mean, his odds are through the roof. How I'm looking.
Hey, I like I said, it's all legal. It's possible. So shame on me. Fool me once if you get it. Going to me back to back. I'm just gonna choose him because I love the Legend Killer Randy Orton. I have Riddle. Might as well take the other half there.
Am I doing a match report today, by the way?
Yeah, you can. No? If you have one, do you have one?
Yeah, because I was gonna say I heard something cool about Randy, but I guess I'll save it for the match report then.
And I think, you definitely could. And I'm gonna go off the grid because I know it'll be at Mania because it's in Dallas, and it'll probably be the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm gonna take him. All right.
This is to win the Rumble, right?
Yep. Tones, over to you.
Oh, geez, that's awesome. If he did, that'd be incredible. This is a guy who I don't know. I'll go with Sheamus. My roster's weird as hell. I need some like firmness and some real guys. I have like a Monopoly team right now.
Hey, I got Stone Cold, who you laughed in my face, so it happens. Cleve, you're up.
Dolph Ziggler. Fuck it. I mean, you never know.
Dolph and Alex. I mean, there is still good people on the board. You have 2 picks in a row, Alex. 3 total left.
Let me go Damian Priest.
I like that. And for your follow-up,
do we have?
Tones, you have 2 left.
Perfect.
Alex has 2 left. Cleve and I have 1 left.
I guess a little bit of a shocker. Let me go another one that's not on the list. Let me go Braun Breaker.
Ah, man. We all know the great son of Scott Steiner. He's now the NXT champ, big boy. Over to Tones, one of your last two picks.
I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn here. I think he could pull one of those things where he rolls under the bottom rope and then he's chilling the whole match. Everyone doesn't even realize he's alive anymore. Then at the end he runs in like some goofball, thinks he really wins the Rumble, and then someone else comes out and kicks his butt. He might, just give me Sami Zayn.
All right, we all have one pick left, and real quick, I'll name the last of it right here. It's Madcap Moss, it's Dominic Mysterio, it's Kofi Kingston. We also have Angelo Dawkins, Chad Gable, Otis, and Robert Roode. Cleve, your last pick.
Going to NXT, and I am going for my boy Walter,
AKA Gunther. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna go Walter. I might just have to make my own shirt for that. I'm going to my last pick. You know what? Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston. And then Tones or Alex, I don't care who goes in order. You name a guy that's left you to say his name, you get him.
Let Alex go because I got a great one.
Let's go somebody who's actually not even on the roster right now, who recently got fired not too long ago. Let's go Bray Wyatt.
Oh wow, that would be Tony.
I could top it off, and that's what I'm gonna do. So someone that's always deserving to be not only in the WWE but the Royal Rumble as a whole. A man that a lot of people forget. But let's go with the big guy here.
No way.
He never officially got eliminated from the last time he was in the Royal Rumble in the 2019 Men's Greatest Royal Rumble. Hornswoggle still was never eliminated, so he's got a bone to pick. Give me Hornswoggle.
And I don't know how we did it, but we literally just got through drafting 24 women and 30 men. Great job, boys. As we get into our last 15 minutes, and once again, thank you all for joining us. I know everyone's got other stuff to do. I'll be eating dinner and watching AEW at the end of the hour. Tough life for me. Moving along, we have 3 matches. I want to get right into it. And for the championship matches especially, I want your caveat to why that person's going to lose. I don't need it so much in this first one, and we'll hit it first. Mixed tag team challenge. Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. I'll start it off. I don't think there's any horseplay. I just think Edge and Beth Phoenix are two of the best competitors in the business. They're looking both great now. Neither are looking like they're old or anything. That being said, Miz and Maurice always sneak their way out with some stupid little thing. I'm going to say Miz and Maurice get the victory. Cleve, as you are my partner, I'm going to give you opportunity number 2.
As great as it would see the Miz and Maurice to win, I think, Miz just never get the respect that he deserves. So Edge and Beth Phoenix will most likely win this match. And Miz gets disrespected again.
1-1. Over to you, Alex.
I'm going to say shenanigans, Miz and Maurice.
Hey, I like it. And Tones, are you going to tie it up, or are you going to be on I Came to Play?
I'm going with Miz and Maurice.
Oh, I did not think that would be 3 out of 4.
They've been getting the short end of the stick lately. It only makes sense that something happens.
And I do.
What the hell was that?
It was just me repeating myself, I guess there. I was like, holy crud, my Twitter opened, and all of a sudden I was trying to find something.
Joey was watching some Rated X video before.
No.
You put the camera a little lower, you're crunching sound on the ground.
Anyways, speaking of Mr. Socko, Mankind will not be in the Royal Rumble this weekend, but thank you for bringing him up, Tones. As we move along, as we get onto the championship matches, really, I got to leave the behemoth match for last because Lesnar versus Lashley has been wanted since 2002. It has been two behemoths always on different ends of their careers. One time, one's in UFC, other is not. One's wrestling, one's not. One's trying to do other things in his career, and the other is not, and so forth. But we got it. We're going between the two for the WWE Championship. And I don't want to lead this one off. Cleveland, lead it off.
This one is this is a tough one right here. Both guys seem really equally matched. This is honestly a WrestleMania type main event. But I'm going Brock Lesnar. They just put the title on him, and as great as Bobby is, I just don't see Brock dropping it that soon.
And so what I'm going to do is, okay, Brock Lesnar, I'm going to recap this real quick. We all know he got the championship spot on Raw because of the COVID Roman Reigns day of. Brock Lesnar's not going to be around probably past Mania. That doesn't change that he could be on Raw or SmackDown, but I got another point to allude to it. He started his way over there. He's been battling with Roman Reigns. I think Brock and Bobby are fighting. Roman and the Usos interfere in the match when the ref is down because Bobby put him through a table or vice versa, and the ref gets knocked out. And I think Bobby takes that title back to Raw because he had his title run, but they want him to continue as the dominant figure. And then Brock Lesnar could be all pissed off and go back to SmackDown and get back in his rivalry with Roman Reigns. Now, I know some people could say vice versa when we get to the other one, but I'm going to lay it to you that way, and I'm going to have Bobby Lashley bring home the title. Tones, then Alex.
I'm going with Lashley as well because I think Lesnar will ultimately win the Rumble, perhaps. So give me Lashley.
And a clean fight or interference in that fight?
I mean, Lesnar's never going to lose clean. You know, there's going to be some shenanigans in there. I don't see him losing clean either. You know, ref's going to get knocked out, or you know, some Lashley's going to pin him on the ropes or something like that.
Alex.
I'm also going to say Lashley as well too, and I think that Paul Heyman screws Brock.
Oh, wow!
Hey, Tampa Bay.
I haven't thought about that one all week because I would just assumed he's back with the Allegiance. I really like that thought, though.
I think it's going to happen, and that's the way that they get out of it clean. So that way, like Tone says, potentially Brock can win the Rumble and then go back after Roman Reigns on SmackDown. It's the easiest way to do it. I should be a WWE writer at this point.
Hey, give it to you. Give him the creativity belt right there. I'm with you on that. Is Paul Heyman has been a great fixture in this whole thing. Okay, now we're going to go to the Universal side. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Now I'm interested to hear most of our opinions here because Cleveland has the opportunity to kind of mix things up. But for us three who just mixed it up in the first one, I'm seeing where your head's at here. I'm going to start, and what I mean by that, since I had interference in match 1 and Brock Lesnar ended up losing, even if Brock Lesnar comes out in the fight with Reigns and Rollins, something happens where either Heyman takes the title and hits Lesnar in the head with it, or the Usos help out. I have Roman Reigns coming out with a victory in that one. I don't think it's a clean victory. There's going to be some shenanigans, but I still think Roman Reigns continues his streak with over 500 days as champion. I'm done. Alex, you're
up. If there's anybody who can take the title away from Roman Reigns, it's Seth Rollins. But I got to go with Roman on this one. I think, he's one of the hottest things right now in WWE. How do you take the title off of him and without that person being The Rock? So
clean or shenanigans?
I think there's some type of shenanigans as well too. Just because the Usos can't get involved, that doesn't mean somebody else might try to join and become part of the tribe or the tribal unit.
Oh, maybe an addition.
I think it's possible. There's a strong possibility out there.
Tones.
Yeah, I think Roman, and this might even be a squash match, quite honestly. I think Roman wins this
Whoa.
one.
Cleveland.
Roman for sure, just simply because it's the Royal Rumble. Roman's been champion for 500 some days, and if you're gonna take the belt off him, you would have to do it at WrestleMania.
The only way you could the way you could take Roman off the title here is by doing the opposite of what we said. Brock wins clean over Lashley, and then you have Brock interfere and Roman's match takes out Roman and Rollins gets a title. Now you could have that be the case because at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar is a free agent. He could be on either show at any time with the title. So if they want to have Roman lose, to me, that'd be the only really way they can do it. We don't have time to fully dig deep into that because I want to get to our favorite Rumble moment. But before we do that, Tones, hit us with a little MASH report, and then everybody have your Rumble moment ready, please.
All righty, let's dip into the MASH report. Glad we could bring it back tonight. Edge says, I can't say I need one more WWE title reign, questioning when Edge will quite retire if he doesn't perhaps see himself with another title reign. It could be any given day now. So let's appreciate the Rated R superstar Edge while he's here. He says, I can't say I need one more WWE title reign. Sheamus hasn't given up on the resurrection of his old theme song, but he says Vince McMahon does hate it. I was personally a big fan of Sheamus's original theme song. I think that would be incredible if he were to bring it back. PWInsider.com reports more Jackass cast members heading for the Royal Rumble. This is what I mean with Johnny Knoxville. It's reported as many as up to 15 members of Jackass could help Johnny Knoxville at the Royal Rumble and in the Royal Rumble. So, that's why I took Knoxville. He could have 15 men behind him. Give me 16 on 1 any day of the week.
And I think Omos takes all those guys out.
WrestlingInc.com says interesting name reportedly discussed for possible WWE Royal Rumble return. This is what I alluded to with the woman. This was Kairi Sane. She was, didn't want to live in the States anymore. She's rumored to come back. Dave Meltzer says AEW attendance for tonight's AEW is 25% ahead of the last time AEW was at the Wallstein Center. Another L for those who said they'll only draw once in each city as a novelty. AEW continues to prove haters wrong. Wrestling Observer says WWE NXT ratings are up from last week. They are up slightly, but they are still upping about 5 to 10,000 based on if you count internet views or not. Impact says Tenel Dashwood is unable to compete in the Knockouts World Tag Team title match this Thursday on Impact. Taking her place will be Caleb Conley. So if you guys were looking for a certain wrestler there, it looks like a guy is taking the place of a woman, interesting enough. So we have two women competing against a guy and a woman in a women's tag team title match. Interesting enough there. Then Ric Flair, the man, talks about the night Royal Rumble 1992, 30 years ago last week. Ric Flair has a podcast out on it now. It's called Flair Uncensored, and it's available now in all podcast platforms for anyone who perhaps wants a good Royal Rumble story. And then last but not least, AEW owns Marco Stunt announces he's accepting indie dates, which raises questions with his future within AEW. That is today's MASH report, covering all your corners of wrestling.
Thank you. As I do appreciate that. A couple things to back that up. Beach Break, it's called tonight, where AEW is located at, and it seems as if it's one of those on TV mini pay-per-view feels as we get a badass match and a championship ladder match. So look out for that. And then, as he alluded to earlier, there's going to be a bunch more surprises. A lot of people joining the Rumble. More than 30 men will be in the ring at once, I am sure, at some point. That being said, boys, we have about 5-6 minutes left. We want to go over our favorite Rumble moment and something we might possibly change. I'll start and lead it off. Then we'll go Cleve, Alex, Tones in that order. I'm going to say my favorite moment, and it's a more recent moment in the last couple of years, but I've watched at least 100 videos of people reacting to it, from crying to, just in awe of the moment. And that was the Edge return in 2020. I've been through all my John Cena moments. I could have picked one of those, but when Edge returned after all the time off that he had, it was such an amazing sight to see him in it, and look very good while doing it. I mean, the crowd went crazy in Houston, and then everybody around the world, the older generation especially, just most quite honestly tearing up. So that was my big moment. One thing I would change about the Rumble, and I'm not saying do this ever, but I think it'd be something kind of cool. You allow 3 men randomly in the Rumble, whether they win a match or it's done in some random order. They get to bring a weapon with them to the match when they enter the Rumble. So 3 random men out of the 30 get to bring some type of weapon of their choice with them out when they enter. Would be my crazy wild change that will never happen. Cleveland, on to you.
All right. Well, my favorite my favorite Royal Rumble is honestly one that probably doesn't get talked about because of the winner, but the 2004 Chris Benoit winning the Royal Rumble was honestly something real cool to see. He entered as the number 1 pick. It came down to him and the Big Show. He got Big Show over the top rope, and then it led to one of the greatest triple threat matches in WrestleMania history with him, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. So 2004 Royal Rumble is definitely one of my favorites. And one thing I would have to change about it,
it doesn't be something you have to. It could be something wild.
I really don't see anything that's changed, that can be fixed. The weapons part you mentioned was cool, but realistically, you can bring a weapon if you want to. They did it like 2011.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's as good as is. That's why we all think it's the best pay-per-view. We were talking earlier. Alex, how about over to you?
So I guess my favorite Royal Rumble moment is one when I was super young, didn't watch it till several years later, but it was 95, watching Michaels go enter in number 1, go over the top rope. 1 foot hit the ground. He was able to pick himself back up, and he I think he eliminated I want to say British Bulldog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Davey Boy Smith. Yep.
Yeah, Davey Boy Smith. And I guess if I made any type of wild adjustments to the Royal Rumble, it would be something similar to like what they did back in the WCW days when they had World War III. I want to say you have 3 rings, 90 people, and then ultimately you come down to 1 ring when there's 2 guys left.
Now, what I would love to have that happen is you do WWE, AEW, and Impact, and that would be, now talking about you open the forbidden door, but that's for a completely different show. I hope the forbidden door opens, as they alluded to earlier. Tones, your last couple of thoughts.
I have a couple top Rumbles, actually, if you don't mind. I'm going to
Go
give
ahead.
a couple top Royal Rumbles. One of them was the 2006 one when Rey Mysterio did the improbable. He entered as number 2. He was in the Royal Rumble the whole time, and he was it was a heartfelt match for him, and he was avenging Eddie Guerrero, and he ended up winning the Rumble, drawing the number 2. I think that is a favorite for everybody. Then this one is one when we were young. It's hard to remember exactly, but you go back and you watch this Rumble, and to me, it's still the most dominant Rumble performance of all time. The 2001 Royal Rumble, when Kane went on to eliminate 12 men, and they were some fierce men, some Hall of Fame men. We're not talking about, your modern day bullshitters who Braun Strowman eliminated in the greatest Royal Rumble when he had 13 eliminations. We're talking about good superstars, guys like Grandmaster Sexy, Steve Blackman, El Snow, Raven, the Honky Tonk Man, Taz, Crash Holly, Scotty 2 Hotty, and The Rock. And there's been a handful more, but they were all eliminated because of Kane. And then one of my favorites as well, the 3 Faces of Foley, the 1998 Royal Rumble, when Mick Foley entered not once, not twice,
Oh, yeah,
3
I
times
saw
with
that.
Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind. That was incredible. What I wish they could change about the Rumble are things that still happen. Number 1, it lost its flavoring of excitement for build-up in terms of drawing draft spots. I think back in the day, they did a lot of cool jobs, like little lottery machines to grab a ball out of it. Or like way back in the day, Ted DiBiase in the 1989 Rumble bought spot number 30 because he was $1 million man. I think they need more interesting ways and storylines of coming up with how these guys get their spots in the Royal Rumble. That's one thing I miss. And then number 2, I wish more big men actually have a legitimate chance of winning a Royal Rumble. It'd be awesome if guys like Kane, The Big Show, Mark Henry, or the Great Khali won a Royal Rumble. That never happened. And they're all, very deserving guys to win a Royal Rumble. So hopefully sooner than later, one day, we get a big man in the WWE who wins the Royal Rumble.
Would you cheer for Omos?
Yeah, I mean, I would, but and nothing against Omos, but you name guys like Mark Henry and Big Show and Kane, and if they do it with Omos, that'd be great. But then it's like, why wouldn't you have done it with one of those three guys are absolute legends. I don't view Omos as a legend yet, but I think he could be there one day. So sure. I just want a big man to win eventually, whoever that might be.
Absolutely. And we have hit that top of the hour. So for those of you going over to AEW, enjoy that. Real quick, I just want to say that Cleve and I will be back recapping it next week. We will invite both of these guys if they just want to jump on the regular podcast. They'll be available too. Alex, before you go, man, thanks a lot again for joining. And what's the latest been going on with Row 7? What's been the latest talk? I know you said Bulls. Is that covering most of the dominating the talk lately?
We're definitely focusing a lot on the Bulls right now. I mean, the Bears, I know that they're still kind of muddling and trying to figure out their own mess right now, but hopefully they at some point right the ship before I turn 85. But that's
and really quick, I do we won't know for a couple years. That's why I hate when people hate or love a move right away. But from what I read, seems like a very smart man who the Bears, and definitely a different approach from their past. I'm not saying it's going to work because we've seen the Bulls screw up many of times with guard packs with the same people involved there. But Bears people still have the villains involved. That being said, I think it may be a better pick than the first few that were available. So again, thank you. And we always want to promote others' podcasts. As I thought Tones left, maybe he got booted for a second. Tones, Alex just did his latest with yours. I know tomorrow, unfortunately, you have your last, after the season edition of the Bucketeers. Give the latest on what's coming and lead us out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it had to come eventually, but we do wrap up our season on the Bucketeers tomorrow for the Buccaneers. So we're going to do our season awards and whatnot, big plays, MVPs. It's going to be more of that. And it's going to really be more so of embracing the past 2 years of Bucs football with how much changes might be on the horizon in Tampa with the uncertainty of some people. So for those interested, Bucketeers will be live tomorrow on Bucks Life News Facebook page or on Bucketeers YouTube. So number of outlets you could reach us. And then Cardboard and Cracker Jacks, we're going to start doing reboots and whatnot. One of our co-hosts, Jake Samurai, just became an Astros season ticket holder, and I just became a Cubs season ticket holder. So we're going to go behind the scenes of season ticket holders and whatnot. But also for Bucketeers, we're not going to be done in the off season by any means. We're going to be doing film studies, film breakdowns and whatnot for the first time ever this off season. So we're going to continue to get listeners closer to the game. And I appreciate being on as always. And as always, win or lose, go Bucks.
And Cleve, leave us with your final thought.
I just want to say thank you to Alex and Tones. As Tones mentioned, season's over for some of our teams. I know a lot of people.
All of our teams, bro.
All of our teams. I think biggest heartbreak. I just want to say, I know I wasn't here last week enough to talk about it, but there is nothing worse than a football playoff heartbreak. Very devastating watching that game, but on to basketball. And like I just said, thank you for you guys for joining, and go Lakers.
Hey,
you mean wait, you said Lakers wrong. You mean go clown show, right?
Go Bron. I don't know what else going on with the rest of them clowns.
But for that being Alex from Row 7, from that being Tampa Tones from the Bucketeers and the Cardboards and Cracker Jacks, this is Cleve and me. Enjoy the Royal Rumble Saturday night in St. Louis, 7 Central. I'm sorry, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Enjoy it. Thank you all for coming. I'm out as I don't want to study any longer. Toodles.